everybody. Just a quick reminder, highlights from this game of the week. Helix at Cathedral Catholic will be exclusively on the PPR First and 15. That's all we're going to talk about the first 15 minutes of the show. Then we segue into the Prep Picks Report, where we'll have highlights from this game again, just not in such elaborate detail. It's KUSI TV or online at KUSI.com. We're just moments before kickoff, and look who's kind enough to join us. Robbie Owens. He brings us Scotty's team in that is 1-2 coach with the new format, with the new open division playoff format where there's only 4 teams. Is that going to change the way you schedule? Because you scheduled a beast of a non-conference schedule. Can you afford to do that now when there's only 4 slots in the open division?
You know, the one thing about being a Helix, we don't have much choice. Nobody wanted to play us. Obviously, we had a good season last year. I think you look at Mission Hills, they kind of ran into the same problem. I do think it's an issue just because of the 4 teams. As I said earlier, I think this is as wide open as it's probably been in the open, and we're condensing the teams down to 4. Obviously, the toughness of our schedule is all great, but at the end of the day, we got to win games. And, really, you can't determine if it was a good thing or a bad thing until, this point forward. So we got to get going on, tonight and for the next, 10 weeks.
Last year, 39-0 you beat them. Both teams are perennial top 10 in the county. Your quarterback's under concussion protocol. How does that affect your game plan for these guys?
Obviously it affects a lot. Delshawn was our quarterback all summer long, and he'd done a fabulous job for us. Obviously came in, last week. We're limited a little bit in the passing game, and the nice thing is we got Elion Noah back, and that's probably the biggest thing. We got our dude back that, can run the football, and, I still think, Delshawn was good with his 7-on-7, but, it does change things. Obviously, beating them last year, we know they're ready for us. I mean, I've always told everybody, in my opinion, I've only been here for 3 years, the rivalry for Helix is Cathedral. And I think we have respect for their program. Coach Joel and their coaches are unbelievable. And I think, at the end of the day, everybody wants to see these 2 teams compete each year. And hopefully we can play each other. I want to play them every year that I'm here. So I think it's a great matchup, and looking forward to the challenge.
Robbie, get with your team. Thank you very much. Robbie Owens, everybody, the head coach at Helix Charter. All right, let's continue our trend of spinning the wheel faster. Here's Rick Willis up north. Take it away, Rick.
That's right. We're here at Mission Hills High School for our Draft Republic North County game of the week. Avocado League opener for both Carlsbad and the Grizzlies. And, of course, the big news up here earlier this week is the passing of Eric Kwame, the defensive line coach, longtime defensive line coach of Mission Hills. They're going to honor him before the game. His family is here. They're going to do the coin flip. Also, there's a GoFundMe page if we want to put up that board real quick. If you want to show that to everyone, where you can donate to help with funeral costs for Coach Kwame and his family. We'll have much more tonight on the Prep Pigskin Report. There you see it right there. Prep Pigskin Report tonight at 11 o'clock. And until then, let's go out to Brandon Stone.
Thank you very much, Rick. The 23rd edition of the Battle of the 15, Mira Mesa and Scripps Ranch take you inside the action here as Noah Tumblin leads his offense from Mira Mesa. This offense can put points on the board, 43 against Mount Carmel just last week. As Noah Tumblin, a man in our PPR top 30, takes it himself but doesn't get anywhere on a storming Scripps Ranch defense. That's the way they play. They don't put anybody on the line, maybe one at most, and then they try to make you guess who's coming. This has already been a fierce matchup. Both teams have spent the ball twice. Both of them haven't scored twice. It's going to be a good one on our Jersey Mike's City Game of the Week. You will be very, very, very entertained, I assure you. For now, let's go east. Maddie Sinclair, take it from here.
Thank you, Mr. Stone. Well, we are out here at Mount Miguel as the Matadors host Santa Fe Christian Eagles, and the Eagles are coming off of a great close win against La Jolla, 16-14. Some name that you're going to hear a lot tonight. They focus a lot on the running game. You're going to hear a lot of Chase Baptista, and they have a powerhouse defense. 2 of the names you'll hear a lot, Carson Baker and Austin Rossetti. Now, for the Matadors, they have a new head coach. As if you saw previously, we caught up with Coach Troy Starr, and he is in his first year, spent 8 years at Helix, 2 years alongside Paul Rudy, but he is back out here at Mount Miguel and ready to win some more games. They also just got off a good win against Valhalla, so great night out here. We're going to have highlights later on the Prep Pigskin Report. So right now, let's pass it to John Soderman.
Thank you, Maddie. The big story tonight, the return of Coach John McFadden. From 2000 to 2013, the Titans went to the playoffs every single year. We asked him a little while ago how it feels to be back.
That's great. That's great. I should have never left. I realized last year when I For the 3 of the years I actually coached, helped out with Lee Price when he was the head coach, and he did a wonderful job. And then when we got fired, I went over and helped out a little bit at Olympian. But last year was my first year of just not coaching, and I realized, yeah, I need to be coaching, because I just became basically a Netflix binge watcher and Facebook annoying person, So I figured I found out I had no other real skills, so I better come back and do this.
All right, Coach, thank you. Allison, take it away.
Thank you so much, John. I'm here at University City High School where the game is actually underway behind me. We're going to take a live look in at the game. It is currently 14-7 University City, and there was an opening kickoff return for 88 yards from University City, and then it was followed by Casey Granfirst. Paul, you're right to look out for him. It is currently 6:25 left in the second quarter, 14-7 UC City. We will have the full highlights tonight on the Prep Picks Report at 11 p.m. But for right now, Paul, I will send it over to you.
All right, I told you so. I told you so, Allison. We'll see you tonight on the Prep Pigskin Report. It takes an army to put this show on the air, folks. If you don't know by now, our social media footprint is growing larger by the day. Every Friday night, we post 30 plus podcasts to our social media platforms. It is basically a sidebar look at all the games that we cover on a Friday night basis. We always pick 1 or 2 to share with you. Meet Red Jacket Trevor Cochran.
What is one of your favorite interactions with the players during the game?
Well, I love the guys. I remember this one time, there was this one player, didn't get to play a whole bunch. He came back on the sideline. You know how the guys bump their heads. He came right up to me, and he had a helmet on. I didn't have anything on. And he banged me right in the forehead. I thought I was about to pass out. I'm like, dude.
What's your off-season training for the flag waving?
I install carpeting. I don't do anything.
All right, thank you very much, Trevor. A quick reminder, 10:45. If you're not in front of your TV screen or one of your viewing devices, then you're a rotten egg. 10:45, it's the PPR first and 15, followed by the Prep Pigskin Report at 11 p.m. We are now about 8 minutes from kickoff here, actually less than that, about 7 minutes from kickoff for the big game. Bert?
Yes.
Hate to put my colleague on the line. What's going to happen tonight? All right, let's do it this way. What has to happen for Cathedral to win?
Well, if you look at 2 things we'll talk about in the pre-PPR, Helix's offensive line looks like an NFL offensive line size-wise, but Cathedral's looks like a Division I. I mean, these are big offensive lines you really don't see in high school football these days. So I'm going to go with Cathedral only because Helix is missing their quarterback in concussion protocol.
And they're going to be a little one-dimensional. But I'll tell you what, if we could take a shot in the stands, if you can't buy into what high school Friday nights are like, this is the atmosphere. As the Helix side is already full, the Cathedral side, they're at the tailgate party. They will be coming down, and that will fill up very quickly. This is high school football, at least in San Diego County. It's at its best right now. You got two
perennial power teams,
the best
2 great
private
teams.
School award. I know the city
against the best public in football.
With almost
charter.
A private school. As a charter school, I mean, they have a lot. They get access to a lot of kids. So I mean, it really comes down to just like who makes the fewest mistakes.
I think so, and I think this will be an open division showing. You know, it's early in the year, but again, Helix gets their players back. They get out of that gauntlet of a schedule. They go into league play. This is going to be a great game.
And here they come out to the field, and you can hear the crowd. Just a quick reminder, we picked 4 athletes from this contest for our Big Pig on Campus contest. You still have time to make your hog hunch. We shut down the poll once the game starts. But basically, it's Noah, Poma, the receiver, Zarani, or I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and then the Helix defense. Who's going to be your big pig on campus of those 4 candidates?
I'm going to go with Noah today. I'm going to go with Noah.
Noah, because he's back, and he's
back. They're going to be a little one-dimensional, and he's going to run the ball a lot.
All right. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. On behalf of Rick Willis, Allison Edmonds, Maddie Sinclair, Brandon Stone, and a cast of thousands, including John Soderman, we try to bring you the very best in high school football every Friday night. We're going to try again right now as we watch the coin toss. Thanks for watching the 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. pre-PR. We'll see you again tonight on the 10:45 PPR First and 15. We're out. Back to you guys.